So Bryson is talking about many Web3 games spent last year using the following buzzwords: play to earn, play and earn, play and own.
Yeah, it was kind of
It's
play
over.
to earn definitely became like talking. You can't even put that anywhere near your marketing material because like you come off as like a Ponzi
Yeah.
coordinator, right? Because it's it's true. Yeah. So like now, what the fuck do we say? You know,
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Yo, play and earn, not to earn."
Yeah.
Then yeah, play and own. Now it's like play to like to live. I don't know, dude.
And then it got transitioned to like run and earn, and train and earn.
It's almost like PC culture spilling into like Web3 a little bit. It's just you gotta be careful with your words nowadays, dude, not to offend.
But the reason we're talking about this is, well, he's suggesting that Web3 games need to pivot their marketing strategy to not use these words, right?
Yeah, because they have negative, the same thing that Reddit did, right? They did so successfully with their Reddit NFT avatars.
Yeah.
They avoided all these potentially negative buzzwords, right?
Yeah, but there was no connotation to Reddit NFTs to like play to earn or anything like that.
Well, NFT itself.
But NFT itself, yeah. But this is actually a deep subject because there is a component that I see a lot of people kind of missing here, where the component is the metaverse, which introduces economic complexity that goes beyond the gaming of a game itself.
Well, this guy in particular, Bryson, he probably isn't injecting that part of the conversation on purpose because I think his career is focused on like, playing games.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber.
Yeah, he's a content creator. So,
yeah.
And there is a whole actual standalone sector of the Web3 space of just games. They're not metaverses, right?
Yeah.
They're not pitching themselves as like, hey, we created this digital virtual world. Here's a bunch of land.
Yeah.
Buy now. That's not what they're saying.
Yeah.
So he's like, if you want to make Web3 games, it's like, how do you make them palatable, I guess, to the traditional gamer?
To Web2 gamer, yeah.
Yeah, and if you go back in time, dude, to our early recordings, we talked about these ideas before, like even Axie took off, right?
Yeah.
We're like, is this ever gonna work? Do gamers want this?
Yeah.
And you were like, fuck yeah, dude. It's like once gamers find out, like, they've been scammed all along. It's like they're all gonna just migrate to Web3. Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
It's like and I was like, hell no, dude. Trust me, I know gamers, dude.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about like whether or not they're making money. They just want to be like fucking vegetables and enjoy their time on Earth. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. Like I said, I spent a decade playing WoW with no monetary return, only loss.
Tons
of loss.
I mean, I see what you're saying, and gamers had no other choice. There was no such thing as earning.
No.
Right? And so had that been part of like gaming where you earn, it would have been expected. Had we spent 30 years of developing games with 30 years of blockchain, it would be expected.
And I think that's kind of like what he's gravitating toward with this message of this thread, right? It's like all these like earning or the potential opportunities of like being a participant in like in an open economy.
Yeah.
Right? Where like the participation is rewarded with actual asset ownership, and therefore you have the option to, I don't know, participate in that market. So all that's like a back end feature, right? Like whenever you play a game on Steam, dude, there's digital assets like that, and then at some point, like, hey, I would like, I own an asset for this game. Now I'm playing a new game.
Mm-hmm.
How about I sell this asset on their marketplace?
Yeah.
I'll get $100 in Steam bucks essentially, because you'll never get real value out of it.
Yeah,
you're locked into that ecosystem, right? It's like, okay, at least now I could use this 100 Steam dollars to buy assets for game Z.
Yeah.
So I mean, and so I understand. I get it. You're right. At some point, I guess this shit's just gonna like get snuck in, right? That's what he's advocating. You have to sneak this shit in.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, So
otherwise, you're gonna turn people off, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what he's saying.
I don't understand. Like, what's the turn off here? That it's like it's viewed as a Ponzi scheme just right off the bat, just because.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of them were Ponzi schemes, I guess. So a lot of those naysayers, these OG gamers, they were proven right, and then
Yeah.
now it's like stuck in their mentalities. It's like, dude, anybody who comes, it's just like these fucking solar guys that always come up to your house and shit. If you would have let one of them actually sell you some product, you would realize you got scammed.
Yeah.
Right. And anytime there's a solar guy comes by, like, dude, fuck you.
Yeah.
You would have that same experience, that learned experience, right?
Sure.
So that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So transitioning, like if a Web3 game transitions their marketing strategy into not talking about NFTs or play to earn or anything like that, but they leverage the technology in the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think that's the way to go, but you have sort of like a different angle to it, is that maybe the play to earn games are not for the West.
That's how I view it.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking about Web3 games, let's think about that. What does blockchain enable, like in the gaming sphere?
High resolution, right?
Yeah, fucking intense like gun battles. You know what I mean?
Right.
The fucking PvP and blockchain is like unmatched.
Yeah.
Right? Like nothing except for
The
ownable
economic,
digital. Yeah, the economic aspects of true ownership of goods, of digital goods, right?
Yeah, because what is the component? What is the main component of owning anything? The fact that you can sell it.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, like, why own anything, right?
Correct. So I guess, I don't know, we have like a more unique, I guess, position or perception of these things because we're more metaverse focused. So metaverse, I think, is a much more
complex
and like a broader like implementation grounds.
Yeah.
As opposed to a game. A game is very like confined, right? To it's like,
linear, very straightforward, limited.
Yeah. It's not. It's
simple.
It's a specified purpose to a virtual experience. And a metaverse is like very general purpose, right? You can create anything of value within a truly open metaverse economy.
Yeah.
So things like, NFTs and digital currencies, they can be leveraged, I think, in a much more palatable and then leveraged and then, targeted towards an audience that has a much more palatability towards these things and not look at them from a framework of like, these are people obviously trying to.
So what you're saying basically is if you pivot from this marketing strategy of play to earn to play my game and enjoy, and also you own these digital assets, you are catering to the wrong type of people who is willing to play to earn.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just two separate demographics. In my opinion.
So that means that you got to design games accordingly, right? If you want the Web 2 to come in, it better be a fun game, right?
It has
right
to,
off the
and
bat.
that seems to be the consensus now, right? After everything kind of collapsed and the euphoria is over now.
But there's other reasons why you could consider it a collapse. That it's very hard to have sustainability in a game without the macro component of stable currencies.
Well, what is Well, there's that, but what is the real thing everybody's trying to achieve? Yeah, it's to launch a token economy with sustainability.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? A currency, a digital currency? What is a digital currency? It's money, right? It's supposed to be a representation of value.
Which it's inherently difficult to create an economy off of volatility.
Or it's hard to galvanize and inspire value perception for something like a game that we all know has no longevity or sustainability to them in the first place, right? Games, in the broader sense, usually don't last longer than like a year.
Yeah.
Only like the Goldilocks unicorn games have like longevity and sustainability to them. So that's like 1 out of 10,000.
Yeah.
The majority of these other games, they don't last that long. So how are you ever going to convince people that this digital currency that represents the value economy within it?
Yeah.
Like, why should you take part in that? Why should you believe this thing has value to it, right? Like people believe the dollar has value. That's a thing that's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
We have a track record to rely on, and we think this country is going to remain powerful into the future, so we all buy into the value of that.
Yeah.
So good luck, games. That's how I think about it, right?